All right, it is Monday, June 3rd, 2024, it's 6 p.m. We'll call our city council meeting to order. Start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next we'll have the roll call.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Lyon.
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Coolman. Alinger.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Next on our agenda is approval of tonight's agenda. Okay, we have a motion by Colister,
Second.
seconded by Alinger. We have no discussion. Take the roll.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Lyon.
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Item 5 is public participation. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address the council? Anyone on Zoom? If not, we'll move on. We have no presentations, so we move into a public hearing. Item 7, it's a public hearing regarding the sale of city real estate, generally described as a portion of parcel number 146181940101800, also known as 1015 East Platt Street. It's approximately 72,300 square feet, and sales to Samantha McLaughlin for the total sum of $36,515. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. This is strictly just a public hearing item. No action is technically necessary, and on advice of the city attorney, we wanted to describe this as well as we possibly could to you because this one comes without survey, but one will be confirmed before the transaction closes. As I said in my previous description to you, this site is for future plans of a hotel at a later point. And so this is an acquisition to make that possible in the future. Property next door to this one will likely be subject to the same sort of transaction in private hands. The attached agreement in your packet today for this did not have the buyer's signature on it, and the buyer's attorney was confirming that today. And so chatted with Doug Herman, our city attorney, specifically about that, and he said to go ahead and present it as it was on Friday. They didn't expect any problems with it whatsoever, and if there were any alterations, they'd come back at another meeting before the closing date to have you finish up on it. But so far as we know, we haven't had any public comment on this property, and I think that this is going to be good for the east side. It gets some tax value back into the community, allows our hotel motel tax to stand a better chance, and I think it'll be good for these business owners. And if there are any other public comments that you received, just please let us know. Otherwise, I think this is ready.
Okay. Anybody in the audience want to address the hearing? Anybody on Zoom?
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion by Lyon, seconded by Colister to close the public hearing. We have no discussion. Take the roll.
Lyon.
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Okay, that motion passes. Item 8 is our consent agenda, and that consists of the May 20th, 2024 regular meeting, our bills payable through June 3rd, 2024, in the amount of $120,094.67. Number of cigarette permits, one to Dollar General, Kansas City, Casey's number 2578, Casey's number 2846, Fareway Stores, Main Street Tobacco, Punky's Caster Cans LLC, Walmart, Hy-Vee Dollar Fresh Market, and Kwik Star 894 and Kwik Star 112. Oh, and KJ's Convenience. Motion by Colister,
Second.
seconded by Bennett. And if we have no discussion, take the roll.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Lyon.
Yes.
Okay, that motion passes. We have no old business, so we'll move into new business. Item 10. Number A is a resolution approving the sale of city real estate, generally described as a portion of a parcel of number 146-181-940-101-800, better known as 115 East Platt Street. It's approximately 72,300 square feet in size, and the sale is to Samantha McLaughlin for the total sum of $36,515.
So moved.
Motion by Colister,
Second.
seconded by Bennett. Any discussion? And take the roll.
Alinger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Okay, that motion passes. Item B is a resolution approving a purchase of 6 treadmills for the Maquoketa Area Family YMCA. And this is in the amount of $31,588.58.
All right, Mayor, Council, I brought backup with me today, and Scott Warren is with us tonight, the YMCA director, but we did save $30,631 next fiscal year after July 1 for the purchase of new treadmills, and it's kind of a classic question of how far do you keep repairing things. It's kind of like buying a new car when yours is starting to get old. So we're at that point where we've put together, I think, our best description of our past 24 months of repair expenses, plus what could happen if we decide to do nothing and repair. And that's kind of the question before the council tonight, and probably the heaviest item on this agenda. And so the proposal for you tonight is to authorize a transaction for $31,588.58 for these Cybex machines to completely replace the ones that we currently have. The ones that are currently in our possession are traded in to get the value down to this $31,588. If you have any further questions or comments about what they'll offer and give to the YMCA membership, I would encourage you to speak with Scott.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion by Colister,
Second.
seconded by Lyon. Any discussion?
Where's the rest of the money coming from?
It's the YMCA CIP for equipment.
The overage will be from there?
Yes, yeah.
Any other questions or comment? Take the roll.
Bennett,
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger,
Yes.
Okay, that motion passes. Item C is a resolution setting a public hearing date of June 17th, 2024 at 6 PM for considering approval to apply for State of Iowa 2024 CDBG Upper Story Conservation Grant on behalf of 114 East Platt Street.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Kelly Brown from JCA is on tonight, and if she has any other comments she can add, she can certainly raise her hand. And tonight, actually pretty pleased to announce this. We've been after this property for some time, and it's nice to see the private property owner. He has been interested, and now we're at a point where I think that financially and the motivation's there to continue this program. All things seem to be ready. He's spending money on moving towards an application here, and if awarded down the road, it would take shape like many of our other subrecipient agreements that we've had so far. And the best example I have of this is at Maquoketa Art Experience, where several apartments were redone. And as you can see from your packet, there's some, I think, some decent drawings to hopefully have some good apartments downtown for more.
Anybody else?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion by Lyon,
Second.
seconded by Bennett, or Alinger, excuse me. Any more discussion? I'm gonna take the roll.
Simonson,
Yes.
Rickrell,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item D is a resolution setting a public hearing for June 17th, 2024 at 6 PM for 50% budget reimbursement benchmark review for the 21-DTR-003 East Facade Downtown Revitalization Grant. Go ahead.
Mayor, Council, the next two items are very similar. This is a simple 50% point in these programs. Required to have a public hearing at that point, and that's what these are, is to set those.
Motion to approve.
A motion by Simonson,
Second.
seconded by Rickrell. Any discussion here? Man, take the roll.
Rickrell,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item E is a resolution setting a public hearing for June 17th, 2024 at 6 PM for 50% budget reimbursement benchmark review for the 21-WS-004 wastewater facility improvement grant.
So moved.
Motion. Okay, motion by Simonson, seconded by Rickrell. Any discussion? Take the roll.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item F is a discussion and possible motion authorizing the joint legal representation letter from Ehlers and Cooney to prepare a 28E agreement related to funding 911 communication services within the county.
Thank you, Mayor. Similar to our service with the school district regarding Little Bear Park. When Allers and Cooney, large firm, well-respected, they represent a number of clients, including the county. We need to sign on to a joint letter for representation. That's what this is. The objective is to use Allers and Cooney to have an exploratory conversation about alternative ways to fund communications, dispatch. So right now, we're paying our share of dispatch expenses, 42%, by the way, inside of our 810 levy. So at some point, when property taxes pull back in the future, cities, including Maquoketa, are gonna be faced with a problem eventually. And this is a conversation to have a joint funding method that's different and fair. And then maybe even attempts to do it through an emergency management levy at a later date. So can't have those conversations without an attorney to start drafting that sort of a legal agreement. And this is our first step towards trying to figure that out.
Okay.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Alinger, seconded by Bennett. Do we have any discussion here? Then take the roll.
Hollister,
Yes.
Alinger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rick Earl,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Okay, the motion passes. Item G is a resolution accepting dedication of public improvements within Meadow Park subdivision.
Mayor, Council, last item tonight, and thank you for your patience. This is a fairly light one compared to others, and there's nothing suspect about this item. We're contractually obligated to take the retention pond at Meadow Park, and everything that transferred over by the prior resolution did not include this retention pond, and we found out why from the assessor's office, so we had our city attorney make that correction. And then that's what this resolution is in your packet tonight. I just want to let you know, there's no other changes here. It's just the retention pond going to the city's name. And this came about because the developer owner, Brian Kraus, his insurance contacted him about why that hasn't happened yet. So just playing a little bit of paperwork catch up on this.
Okay,
so moved.
we have a motion by Alinger, or Bennett, excuse me. Motion by Bennett,
Second.
seconded by Alinger. And if we have no discussion, take the roll.
Alinger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rick Earl,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Hollister,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item 11 is reports and communications. Anybody on the council have anything to report?
Just want to say, I think Public Works did a great job cleaning up after the big storm. And I was really
Fast
pleased to
work.
see. It was, sad to lose a tree, but happy to have the city take it away. So well. So.
You guys were well oiled. They did a good job.
very good.
Thank you.
All right, city manager?
I'm gonna add the PD, the electric utility and fire department to that. And that, I called you first, Mayor, about this was a bad one, and it was really interesting to see all those moving parts fit together quickly. Second, coming up, we're handling a lot of capital projects right now. We're still pursuing opportunities left and right, but at some point here, the levy and the wastewater plan are concluding. I'd like to have a 3 to 5 year goal setting session with the city council and mostly remove myself from the influence of that and have Pat Callahan, consultant, do that work with us over the summer. So we're on his schedule for July 8th and September 9th for a 3 to 5 year goal setting session. Department heads included, city council, and those will be public meetings. But the outcome of something like that is that given our debt capacity going down, projects sunsetting, we'd like to know what to focus on in the next 3 to 5 years, is what's the next phase of what the city council wants us to do, and I think Pat's the perfect person to guide us through that conversation. Just wanted to kind of put that on your radar. Tomorrow, receiving a message from me about surveys and trying to gather some initial data for his project.
What were the two dates? I got July. What was the
July
second?
8th and September 9th.
9th, okay. Anything else?
That's it.
That's it. Okay. Well, that being said, I take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Hollister,
Second.
seconded by Bennett. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? We're adjourned.
Notice he looked at me